Nigeria is even sounded like a foreign concept. A foreign concept. We haven't even seen the street or the house itself. This house that she's building in Nigeria for the family, that the family that she has neglected, so that everybody is now split apart. That she says she needs a house for the family. This house, Nigeria, that is sounding like a concept. Nobody wants to go. Who is it that doesn't want to go? Because I've been to Nigeria. I want to go to Nigeria. I'm going to Nigeria. I'm going to Nigeria because I want to get some stuff done and I want to get stuff for good. And because the country has advanced so much, I want to go. One rotten person, Kutiti Lyle, is telling the house that is infesting the walls that they don't want to go to Nigeria. You don't even want to go to Nigeria. As if Nigeria is some foreign concept, some dusty place of 1960. That's your home country. You think this is your home country? You think this is home? With the skies as grey as it is, and rainy and cold and dull. You think because you're comfortable here, because you're used to it here, that this is your home country? But you can climb Kilimanjaro. You can climb Kilimanjaro and go and sit in the mountain and be okay in small rooms in Cambridge. But you don't want to go to Nigeria and get a duplex and a massive house and feel like a man. You haven't even worn your agbada and your thing so wrong. I haven't worn my hair tie in so long, but I'm wearing a scarf to bed. No one has even introduced you to Nigeria. You don't even have a day when you've been with both parents, Thomas. When you spent time with both parents, when you've put your hand in pounded yam and put your hand in amala and stew. You haven't put your hand in amala and stew. You haven't felt what it's like to be a man and look at your own people in their own faces and see people and feel it in your bone. You're eating takeaway food and saying you don't want to go and okay with KFC. Do you know what that does to your physiology? When you're in your own environment, in your own father and mother home with people who look like you, whose faces. Do you know how quickly your brain starts to merge and feel comfortable? When you're in your own heat, when you're in your own climate, your own country. That's why Titi needs to go. Titi should have been gone, should have lived in Nigeria. Because that autism there's something in the mind. That autism there, maybe it would have quieted her. Going into Lara Trait, that school that looks like a prison, that's built for prison and prison cell, and getting arrested. You think I don't know? That Lara Trait was a setup to get arrested. That's why you was in Bexley Heath police station with a caution. That's why you got a caution in the first place. That cursed school and the spirits of that cursed school wanting us to end up in prison and sit in prison. No yellow pages, no landline, no catalogue in the house for us to flick through and see what's outside and go and get it. Never even been to Nigeria. Not even sat down. I'm going to Nigeria. Let me go down. Let me go to Lekki and Lagos. Let me go up to Manchester Airport where it's cheap. Or go up to Liverpool Airport where it's cheap and get there. Heathrow is £200. You know why it's £200? You know why it's £200? Because you live in a stupid city, in one of the most expensive cities in the world, and the price is going up and going up. You're only meant to be in the UK for a season, and then you disappear. Even set up for us to fail. With the price being what it is. No garden, no tree, no fruit, no nothing. Everywhere is at least half an hour. And you think it's the supermarket and the jollof rice that's making you feel Nigerian. Nigerian is a concept. It's an adjective. I was speaking Yoruba when I went to CTK. I started picking up Yoruba when I was 14. I started speaking Yoruba. I started picking up on Yoruba. Came back here. All my languages was disappearing. Why wouldn't I be disappearing? Turning into a fool. Living with fool and fools in a dirty house. Why wouldn't your Yoruba and your Nigerian and your person be disappearing? Is the person who is meant to be from Nigeria, who likes to shriek, who thinks that her shrieking is impressive, is that person even acting Nigerian and behaving Nigerian? Is there anything in the house, like a wrapper, like a scarf, like a head tie? Is there anything there? The house is barren and empty. The country has advanced so much. All the things that we want here, all the Lola was complaining about her breasts being flat, that her breast has become saggy since she's had the children. All of the stuff is there. Everything is there. All of the things that I needed for my own surgery is there, and for cheap. And that's where we should have been putting our money. That's where we should have been putting our money. Titi's complaining about her skin and this and that. It's in Nigeria. The palm oil, the things that Pedri should be bringing back home, the things that Pedri should be bringing back home, like the palm oil and all of the things that would be beneficial for us, coconut oil, all of these things for cheap. It's in Nigeria. I'm going to go and give it to Tayo's mum. I'm going to Tayo's mum. I'm going to this friend and I'm going to that person. What about your own children? What about your own children? All of these things, you pack it. It's from Nigeria. You know what? I'm not even taking any no for an answer. We're not going to we're not going anywhere. We're going to Nigeria and everybody's going. And that's the end of the story. That's final. I've even built a house there. Everybody's going to Nigeria and that is the end of the story. That's the end of the matter. Pack your bags, pack your thing. I don't want to hear a peep. Everybody is going to Nigeria and you're going to go and spend some time there. Why wouldn't mental ward come? Why wouldn't the dirty spirits of Lara Trait that want to put us in prison and put us in mental wards and hospitals and run us over vehicles? Why wouldn't all of these flat spirits and all these dirty spirits be coming? Why wouldn't they be coming for us? When the mother of the home invites them. Your leg that's still injured, your leg that's still half done, can be fixed in Nigeria. The leg that you're jumping on can be fixed in Nigeria. The body that you're bouncing on, that you're jumping, that you're shaking, Nigeria. And it's for cheap. It's not I save for 6 months, like Titi Layo, the autistic fool. I save for 6 months and for 7 years to go and buy a small studio in Dartford. Or I'll go and save for 7 years to go and get something simple done that can be done. That's simple. Simple. That the duplex, a 4-bedroom duplex with a massive kitchen with a marble centerpiece in the kitchen. I need to save for 7 years. I don't do credit. Can you see? Fool. A fool. A fool. I don't like credit cards. A fool. I like saving. You like stingy. You like deprivation. You like being poor and skinny. Like a bastard. That's what you like. Like a fool. Thinking like a fool. Fool mentality. If you had been raised in Nigeria, and when I say Nigeria, I'm not even talking about it. I like them parents who like to threaten and say it's threatening. No. I'm talking about it as if it's good, like it's good for you. All that shouty that's in your brain, the voices that you say that you hear, all the voices that you say that you hear, and that you're always hearing voices. Nigeria, you go. When you go in your own country and you see the heat and the sun of your own country, your brain will start pulling together and start making sense because it's a physiological thing as well. Your brain will start pulling together. And you, Titi Layo, are the ones whose brain needs to be put together the most. Because you have made the house, you and Pedro are almost the same. You're similar. And you make everyone sick. You're similar. Both of you are similar. You make everybody sick. And when you speak, it's like the whole walls of the house will absorb what you say. How hard is it to get a new bed? How hard is it to split up to tell Titi Layo, right, you're from Leicester, you came back from Leicester, now you need to go, and I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna sit you down, and not just Titi, Bissy, Thomas, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna look at this house buying process, right? Everybody's money, everyone's salary, Titi, Bissy, this acting thing, you're now gonna get a real job. Now, sit down. How much is each person making each month? Your first paychecks are going towards a vehicle and a house. And if you can't get private housing, social house it is. Your own home, your own bed, your own space will change your whole world. Everything that you think you knew, when you sit down, you're young. When you have your own space and your own rules, now your whole world opens. These things that plague you from Lara Trait, Titi Layo, these things that plague you from all of this, Thomas, even these that are plaguing you. When you have your own house, your own a real career, when you have these things in place for every human person on the earth, these things are essential to your life from start to finish. When you have these things, then you have part of your freedom, a big part of your freedom. A big part of your freedom. But this was not a plan for living. This was a plan for death. This was a plan to kill 3 children, maybe 4, and a niece. This was a plan for death. Because there is no way that I'm 35 years old and this is the life I'm living, and you can say that this person wanted you to stay alive. There is no way. There is no way. The same way that you suffocate children and you keep children inside a house, inside a flat in 23 Dean Court, and then you release them to the park. And Thomas is a wanderer. There was no way that you gave birth to these children so that they can live. This must have been a plan for whatever sacrificial thing that you practice. That's what it must be. There's no way that you can look at Titi Lyle's face, look into Titi Lyle's face and say, you're pretty, you're like me, you're fair skin, you're pretty, you look like me. And then you left her to go and find a property on her own. And she ended up all the way in Dartford, on a hill, in a studio, getting sicker and sicker. Titi's not even half the person that she looks like. When I was younger, we used to go to these African parties and boys used to fancy Titi. Do you know boys used to fancy Titi? There was a boy called Simeon who used to fancy Titi. Titi used to be fanciable. With bum, with a small body. Titi used to be pretty. She looks like a scrawny rat. Going towards 40 years old. Lola shaved off all her head, shaved off all of her hair, and says she can't afford anymore to do hair. People, we can't afford. Look, Titi as well. I can't afford to do hair. Do you know why you can't afford to do hair? Because you have neglected your own siblings. How hard is it to go to the shop? How hard is it to go to the shop and go and snatch what Kerikere and whatever oil and whatever thing that you need? How hard is it to call your sister, Bissy, can you help me do my hair? Or can you help me do extensions? Can we do this? Can we do that together? Can you help me get this comb? Can we do the house? Can we do the hair? Can we do the hair together? Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do that? You know why? Because like I said, there would have been a time where there would need to be a re-friendship and any grievances will need to be aired and everybody needs to fix themselves and fix their attitude together because we can no longer afford to bicker and to fight. Giving everybody our money and spending £25 and £35 and £45 and £50 to go and do our hair in some distant place all the way that's 2 hours from their house and spend 2 hours there doing our hair when we can be doing it in the house, in our own homes, with our own people, our own family members, getting multiple things done. Cutting off her hair. And Titi as well. Braiding her hair in dreadlocks, saying she can no longer afford hair because hair is so expensive. Blind. You are blind. That's why I need to be on apps, on Match.com and Hinge.com, finding man. When if your hair and your face and your life was put together, you'd be walking outside and be attracting men. Several. Same thing with Lola. Settling for any Oyinbo person with a van. If your hair was done and if your life was put together, they will be there. No, but they don't want to hear me speak. They want to say that my voice is too loud. I'm too loud. It's not the transparency. It's not the realness. It's not the truth. It's the loudness. It's the decibel. It's the decibel. It's not Pedro's mouth that's too loud. It's not her shrieking that's too loud. It's not her foolishness that's too loud. It's not Titi's foolishness that's too loud. It's not the stupid things that she says that's too loud. It's not the 14 Gargani walk that's too loud. It's my voice that's too loud. I'm shouting. It's not your leg that is jumping, that people are looking at it and observing it and saying, what's going on there? It's not the absence of sex in our family. It's not the absence of romance and romantic and joy and abundance and fun and jokes. It's my voice being too loud. The reason why we can't laugh is because there's so many issues that need to be gone through and we haven't resolved it. We haven't resolved it and we haven't had enough time to digest it and have it resolved. So by the time that we see each other, so in the year, we will look back and say, this thing no longer plagues me and no longer hurts me as like it did before, because we have gone through it. We've discussed it. We've shared letters. We've gone it tick and tack, toe and toe. No, it's everyone suck it up and hold your stomach and be sick and not say the truth and make chipolata and roast potato like there's no issues in the house and make turkey like there's no issues in the house.